Welcome back to the channel, guys. We are going to go to Conconully State Park today. It is a pretty dark, gloomy mid-morning. That's okay, because we're on the bike. Uncle Rob and I have talked about it, about like our lines in the sand of when we ride and when we won't. And Rob's is much different. Rob lives much closer to work, and so for him, as in taking the bike to work, commuting on the bike, he gets away with riding a little bit deeper into the non-riding season than I do. His commute is about half of mine. So, you know, you can put up with pretty cold temperatures for a shorter amount of time than longer, obviously. So his riding season, to work at least, is a little bit longer than mine. But as far as like trips go, we both have the same line, and that is when the road gets a little wet. Not a little wet. That's when the road is wet. Riding on slick, wet conditions on a heavy cruiser motorcycle is just, it's a recipe for disaster. Especially when the temperatures drop and you run the risk of ice. No one wants that. But today I'm trying out and testing out some highway pegs that within the first 2 minutes of riding and me putting my feet up on them, I do know that they are far too close to me. On the electric ride that I had before this bike, these were perfect because I had the lower fairings, and they seem to start a little bit further away from my body. But on this, even with the chopped engine guard, that is, if you guys know what I'm talking about, a chopped engine guard doesn't just come straight off the frame. It kind of kicks forward a little bit and then goes out. And I'll show you what I'm talking about when we get to Conconully State Park. But I have the long arms onto the mounts, and they are way too long. I feel like my knees are tapping my chin when I put my feet up on them. So definitely need to order some shorter mounting arms for those. I will be buying a new helmet for next riding season. I've narrowed it down to 2 different helmets. It's between the Bell and the Shoei, however you pronounce that word. It's between those 2. The Shoei GT Air 3 is the one I'm looking at, that or the RF 1400. And when it comes to Bell, I'm going to put it up on the screen right now, but I can't off the top of my head remember the model number. But it's a modular helmet. And I'm not a huge fan of modular helmets, but everyone keeps telling me they're amazing. And I wouldn't have this, like, having to try to figure out the visor thing while I'm on the road. With a modular, I could just push on the chin thing and lift the whole helmet up. So, you know, they do have their advantages being modular. I'm obviously worried about soundproofing for my microphone. And to me, a modular helmet, it's just one more way for air to get inside, is the seam of where the helmet actually actuates, if you will, the way it moves up and down. So I'm gonna try it out. The specific bell model that I have comes with communications and all that, so I'm hoping they have figured out the modular technology. Modular helmets are still relatively a new technology in comparison to helmets, the history of motorcycle helmets. So I'm hoping by now they've got them figured out. But yeah, I don't got too much to talk about. I'm gonna do some more talking when we actually get to Conconully State Park. So for now, just sit back and enjoy the ride. If you guys can hear this, I hope you can. But if not, I'm sorry. But the temperature is actually not bad. I mean, it's a little cold, but it's not that bad. Right now, it's kind of raining. The weatherman lied to me again. Conconully is it's a really nice little town. Today it looks like the Twilight vampires are having a field day. No sun to speak of. You know, which is good, so they don't, you know, sparkle. I hear from people who've read the books, seen the movies. I have actually seen the first Twilight movie. I didn't think it was that bad. I don't know what people were freaking out about. Thing's pretty cool. So, ladies and germs, this is Conconully. And we got some weird, heavy fog going on. Closed for winter. It's not winter yet. My wife and I were having a conversation this morning as we were sipping our coffee. before she headed off to work. And it was about the people in the Pacific Northwest having an accent. And I don't think we do, but she swears up and down that we do. I guess we don't pronounce our T's. She saw something on social media, and this lady was like, try to say we're going to Costco for the winter for some things on sale in Seattle. And so I said it, we're going to Costco for things on sale in the winter for going to Seattle or some shit like that. And she said, yeah, see, you didn't pronounce a single one of your T's. And turns out she's right. I didn't pronounce a T. Look at that. I'll shut up now. Check this out. Oh, that's pretty. I do believe that those are birds. I'm still learning about ND filters, so I'm hoping I picked the right one for today. Yeah, that's beautiful, guys. Wow. That's pretty. You guys know what time it is. Yeah, you guys can see what I'm talking about with this arm. It's too long. I need it to be out here. So I'm just going to buy a new one of these. But on the electric guide, like I said, it was perfect. All right, guys, let's keep going. What do you say? Oh, that's pretty. You know, I don't think I've actually been this far into Conconully State Park. Well, State Park's that way, but you guys know what I mean. I don't think I've been up this far on this side of the lake. Very happy I chose to come out here today. because these are all private residences. Otherwise, I'd try to get down there. yeah, guys, so that's Conconully and Conconully State Park. I wish it was open so I could actually walk down there and go to the water and show you guys that, but it is closed for winter. These aren't so bad, I guess. The highway pegs where they're positioned. It's kind of nice actually to bend your knees in a different position, and especially because like this, if you're for those of you of my subscribers who put down real miles, you guys know why highway pegs are so important for road trips. There is no better way to change the pressure points on your rear end, if you will, by adding highway pegs. Because right now it's a different part of my butt on the seat. And then if I go like this and I sit up, it's a different part of my butt. So highway pegs are great. Long distance, moving around, getting a different part of your butt, shifting your weight, this kind of thing. And check this out. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep them like this because then I can do this. Put my feet out like that. Bam! Check that out. That's pretty cool, you know? Like you're on a lazy boy. It's kind of, you know? Pretty great. See? Keeps coming out. I don't know what to do. I think I'm going to do the thing that I did on the electric light before it literally accidentally ripped out, which was just wrap that plug in black electrical tape. Jam it in there. Hopefully that does the trick. But yeah, I know there wasn't a whole lot of talking, not too much to discuss, but I really wanted to make a trip out to Conconully before the year was out, and before all the snow came in. I figured today would be a good day to do it. I really appreciate you guys tuning in, watching my videos. It's awesome. You guys are great. If you haven't already, if you could hit that like button, throw a comment in the comment section below about what you guys would like to see, and if you're from the area where you'd like me to go on a future ride. If you've made it this far in the video, I really do appreciate it. Keep the shiny side up, the rubber side down. Also, subscribe if you're not a subscriber. I'm starting to learn how to use the YouTube analytics thing and the YouTube studio. And 70% of my usual casual viewers aren't even subscribed. It would be cool if you were. It tells me I'm doing something right, you know? So yeah, do all the YouTube stuff. See you guys on the next one. Take it easy.